At my youngest son Ethan's 1-month celebration, my wife Alice stepped away to the restroom. By chance, I glimpsed her phone lighting up with a message from her brother Adam. "Miss you. Babe. It's been too long." Before I could process this, Adam and Alice re-entered the private dining room in quick succession. Alice's eyes sparkled with suppressed laughter, her foundation failing to conceal her flushed cheeks, her blouse slightly rumpled. When she noticed her still active phone in my hands, her expression darkened. "Evan, you're going through my phone," she shrieked before I could speak. She snatched the device violently, tears springing to her eyes. "After all these years of marriage, you still don't trust me? Snooping while I pee? Fine. Scroll through everything." She slammed the phone onto the table, sending a wine glass shattering across the floor. Our eldest Emily, seated beside me, burst into terrified sobs. I shielded her from the glass shards while Adam swiftly carried baby Ethan to safety. The tension thickened as both Miller and Adam's family members exchanged disapproving glances across the private dining room. My sister Luna intervened diplomatically. "Alice just recovered from childbirth hormones, make emotions volatile. Let's clean up and enjoy the meal." Alice met my gaze with tear-streaked defiance, radiating wounded innocence rather than guilt. My suspicions wavered as Emily suddenly piped up, tugging Luna's sleeve. "Auntie, it's my fault. I took Mommy's phone to play games. Daddy was just keeping it safe for her." The unexpected defense twisted my heart. Our mature daughter constantly endured Alice's neglect. I remembered finding Emily barefoot on our porch last winter, sobbing after being locked out for disturbing Alice's nap. Though 8 months pregnant then, Alice had shown no remorse until I threatened separation. Since Ethan's birth, Alice's maternal instincts emerged, but exclusively for our son. Her blatant favoritism even made relatives uncomfortable. Yet she persisted unapologetically. As Emily's explanation hung in the air, both families froze mid-breath. Years of suppressed marital fractures suddenly crystallized in the champagne-scented tension. Just as Alice was about to lose her temper, she shot Emily a glare. Luna quickly stepped in to mediate with an uneasy smile. "Since it's all a misunderstanding, Alice, why don't we all sit down?" Alice's face flushed with embarrassment as she hugged her arms, muttering under her breath before reluctantly taking the seat beside me. Our parents pretended not to notice the tension, motioning for waitstaff to clean the broken glass while resuming their pleasantries. The uneasy truce shattered when Mrs. Adams suddenly declared, "Evan, now that Alice has Ethan, you should let us raise Emily." Every head turned toward her as she continued, "Alice can't possibly handle 2 children. We'll take better care of our granddaughter than any nanny." I calmly served myself more mapo tofu. "We can afford full-time help. Besides, Emily's starting elementary school soon. The education here in launching far surpasses county schools. Don't be short-sighted." Mrs. Adams countered, "What's the point of educating girls so much? She'll marry into another family eventually. Everything you give her will just become someone else's property someday." My father froze with his wine glass halfway to his lips. Mother's polite mask slipped, revealing her displeasure. Luna abruptly stood, her chair scraping against the floor. "I've lost my appetite." The unspoken tension stemmed from recent events. ID transferred property titles to Emily, sparking explosive arguments with Alice. "If you're giving assets to our children, everything should go to Ethan," she'd screamed last week. When I'd asked if Emily wasn't equally her daughter, she'd simply cooed at our son. "She'll never compare to Ethan." Adam slammed his palms on the table. "Mother, we don't tolerate this backward thinking anymore." His angry gaze darted to Luna storming out. After glaring at Mrs. Adams, he hurried after his wife. The remaining dinner guests dispersed quickly after that. During the tense car ride home, Alice cradled Ethan in his car seat while pressing against my arm. "Don't be mad," she murmured, all softness despite her earlier cruelty toward our daughter. Over the years, I'd considered divorce countless times, but memories of her tearful youth, "You're the only one who truly cares about me," melted my resolve. The children bound us tighter, as did guilt whenever other women flirted. How could I betray the vulnerable girl who'd given me this family? My fingers brushed through Alice's hair as we pulled into the driveway. About that text from Adam during dinner, I began, choosing my words carefully. The glowing screen still burned in my memory, a message notification reading "Can't wait for our spa day" from her brother's number. The person on my shoulder suddenly stiffened. Alice sat up straight and slapped my shoulder hard. That was Adam who sent it to the wrong person. How could you suspect me and my brother? Doesn't Adam want to pursue Luna? Is he chasing my sister while stringing others along? I couldn't help retorting. At my words, Alice's expression froze momentarily. Of course not. Adam would never be that kind of person. Oh, honey, we siblings were just messing around. You don't actually think there's something inappropriate between us, do you? As Alice's voice grew increasingly agitated, I quickly soothed her. Darling, don't be upset. I'd never suspect you and Adam of such things. My sweetheart, stop fussing. I was wrong, hit me if you want. I guided her hand to my face, making her giggle. She rested her head against my shoulder, admiring her manicure while demanding I buy her the latest designer bag. I agreed with a smile. In the shadows where she couldn't see, my face turned ashen. Others might not know Alice's true nature, but I understood perfectly. She'd typically throw dramatic tantrums over minor issues, the type to create chaos from thin air. If truly innocent, she'd seize any chance to argue. This calmness proved that Alice and her brother Adam were definitely scheming behind my back. After putting Emily to bed that night, I reminisced about meeting Alice. We'd first crossed paths at a karaoke bar in Dragon City. 18 and weeping with smeared makeup, she'd resembled a frightened kitten cornered by drunk patrons. Moved by her vulnerable charm, I'd intervened. I started frequenting the bar, instructing the manager to protect her. Gradually, I learned her tragic story: poverty-stricken family, critically ill father, sacrificing education to support her brother's studies. Her tearful confession about wishing to continue school melted my heart. Unlike other calculating hostesses, Alice radiated innocent sincerity. When I fell ill, her homemade congee captured my heart completely. I paid for her father's surgery, bought her a condo, and secured her an office clerk position at my friend's company. Loving her meant supporting her entire family, including funding Adam's overseas education. Objectively, I'd been exceptionally devoted. Given my childhood health issues that doctors said made fatherhood unlikely, Emily's birth had been miraculous. Though my parents initially opposed marrying someone with Alice's background, they relented after our daughter's birth. Alice nearly died delivering Emily. Grateful for our daughter, I'd never considered more children until Alice insisted Emily needed siblings. Against medical odds, we conceived again. I credited Alice for this second miracle, cherishing her more deeply. Even her materialistic parents became tolerable after our son Ethan's birth. The same in-laws who'd ignored Emily suddenly appeared in Dragon City, claiming they'd help care for their grandson. Their sudden interest contrasted starkly with Emily's birth, when they hadn't even called. Now everything clicked into place: their unexpected visit, Alice's atypical restraint, Adam's convenient wrong message. The Adams family's carefully constructed facade was crumbling, and I finally saw the truth behind their orchestrated performance. The Adams family's behavior was undeniably peculiar. Moreover, considering the ambiguous message between Adam and Alice today, I couldn't believe biological siblings would communicate with such intimate undertones. Yet the mere thought of anything improper between them felt absurd even to me. During our marriage registration, I'd verified their shared family registry. Alice and Adam were indisputably blood-related siblings. Lying awake through the night, I finally called my assistant at dawn, instructing her to reinvestigate the Adams family's background in their hometown. The next morning, Luna arrived at my house with Adam trailing behind. Before I could question her, Luna took Emily's hand, explaining, "Evan, I came to take Emily out. We ran into Adam at the gate. He's driving north today anyway." Adam stood politely in the foyer as Alice rushed to fetch his slippers. Their hands brushed repeatedly, Alice's smile lingering whenever she looked at her brother. When Alice entered the kitchen, Adam followed to tie her apron strings, a gesture more intimate than anything I'd done as her husband. To outsiders, they might appear as lovers rather than siblings. Though both attractive, I knew Adam's charm masked incompetence. For Luna's sake, I bit back criticism. Later, When Emily dragged Luna upstairs to show her room, I nudged my sister. Don't you think Alice acts unusually close with Adam? Luna rubbed her arm incredulously. They're siblings. No wonder Alice says you've been paranoid lately, jealous of her own brother now? Changing tactics. I asked, is Adam pursuing you? Luna flushed. Even if he were, his parents' views don't reflect his. Don't punish him for their mistakes. Our conversation halted as Adam appeared in the doorway. Evan, dinner's ready, he announced, though his gaze remained fixed on Luna. Emily's piping voice interrupted. Uncle Adam. Carry me. Not now. Emily, Adam said with strained patience, crouching to her level. Why can't you carry me, but carry Mommy? The child's innocent question drained color from Adam's face. Luna tilted her head curiously. How do you want your uncle to hold you? Emily hugged Adam from behind, planting a kiss on his cheek. Adam turned pale, awkwardly explaining, I was just helping my sister tie her ribbon. Didn't expect the kid to see. Luna quickly interjected about children's innocence. Adam stole glances at me, visibly relaxing when he saw my neutral expression before leading us downstairs for dinner. Behind his back, Luna and I exchanged knowing looks. Emily's innocent gesture had deepened our suspicions about the siblings, making even my previously skeptical sister sense something amiss. At dinner, Adam kept serving Luna while regaling her with study abroad stories and talent displays, keeping her laughing. In stark contrast, Alice listlessly stabbed her fish into mush without eating. Are you feeling unwell? I asked. She started, biting her lip before excusing herself to the restroom. I clearly saw her shoot Luna a venomous glare on her way out, the unmistakable look of jealousy. As Adam checked his phone across from his wife, he abruptly left the table claiming fullness. Only my sister and I remained. Watching his retreating figure, my ominous premonitions solidified. I signaled my sister, who gave a discreet, okay gesture before slipping away. 5 minutes later, Luna returned pale-faced, nodding confirmation. Soon after, my wife reappeared glowing like a cat who got the cream. When Adam resumed his fawning, Luna only sipped water, canceling their afternoon date, citing menstrual cramps. This gave me the perfect excuse to take Emily to my parents, though not before hiding a voice recorder in our bedroom vase. Back home after settling Emily, Luna shuddered. Those disgusting siblings were making out in the second-floor bathroom. Actual blood relatives. Her phone showed security footage of the Adams siblings passionately kissing. Won't we get caught? Adam's worried murmur came through. Alice sneered. Even if she suspects. A few sweet words, and she'll keep funding us. My stomach churned remembering our wedding morning when both emerged exhausted from Alice's room, likely already entangled in their twisted game. Over years, I'd sacrificed everything for Alice family ties. Dignity. Playing the devoted fool while she cuckolded me with her own brother. The video evidence confirmed my worst fears. Their incestuous affair had been ongoing since before our marriage. Right under my nose. At that moment, I felt like reality had slapped me hard across the face. Rage surged from the soles of my feet to the crown of my head. Evan, Luna said, leaning against the chair with a disgusted expression. Maybe we should consider divorce. Do we really want our children growing up with a mother who disregards basic human decency? God knows what kind of people they'll become with her influence. And those Adam's parents, total leeches. Did you hear what Adam's mother said about Emily last week? The memory made my blood boil. If they dare say those things in front of us, imagine what happens behind closed doors. I can't bear thinking about how Emily would suffer growing up around those grandparents. My initial fury gradually cooled into icy resolve. Divorce? Why should I make it easy for those two cheating scumbags? Luna looked alarmed. Evan, don't do anything reckless. They're trash, but you shouldn't sink to their level. A humorless laugh escaped me. I'm not sinking. I'm making sure they choke on their own poison. That weekend, I took Emily and Ethan out for ice cream. Later, I discreetly collected hair samples from both children and sent them to the DNA lab. Returning home, I found the Adams family camped in my living room. Adam sat in my favorite armchair beside Alice, laughing like he owned the place. The sight made me slam the door shut with a loud bang. Mrs. Adam's syrupy smile vanished when she saw me. Finally decided to grace us with your presence? Too rich and important to pick up your in-laws. Mr. Hotshot. For years, I tolerated this woman's condescension born from my indulgence toward her daughter. Today, that ended. Mrs. Zhang. I called toward the kitchen. Our housekeeper appeared immediately. From now on, don't let these moochers through our doors again. The color drained from the Adams family's faces. Adam jumped up with fake concern. Brother-in-law, let's talk this through. We're family. This house belongs to the Millers, not the Adams. I cut him off coldly. If you want to play patriarch, buy your own damn property instead of freeloading off your sister. Weren't you the ones preaching that married daughters are like spilled water? What's this whole clan doing crawling through my windows then? Came to rob me blind. Alice shot up like an angry hen protecting her chicks. Evan, have I been giving you too much slack lately? My parents came to help with Emily. Apologize right now, or I'll divorce you. She stormed out with Ethan. Her dramatic exit punctuated by Mrs. Adams' contemptuous snort. Only Adam showed faint awareness as they gathered their belongings. Mom, what if he actually goes through with the divorce? He whispered. Relax. Mrs. Adams sneered. He's still wrapped around Alice's finger. I waited until their car disappeared before instructing Mrs. Zhang. Throw out every piece of furniture they touched. Their stench lingers. The fools still didn't realize I wasn't the same pushover who'd let Alice walk all over me anymore. A few days passed. Alice, who had been certain of her victory, grew anxious when she didn't receive my reconciliation message. She bombarded my phone with calls. I flipped my phone face down on the desk, methodically reviewing her investigation report. The documents revealed Alice had been adopted by the Adams family. Born Chloe, she'd endured a traumatic childhood with an alcoholic, abusive father and gambling-addicted mother. At 13, her life took another dark turn when her mother stabbed her father during a drunken brawl. Landing in prison, the Adams family took in the orphan girl. Her claims of dropping out to work? Pure fiction. The truth was expulsion for teenage rebellion, underage romance with Adam, schoolyard brawls, and bullying classmates. Before meeting me, she'd been Adam's longtime girlfriend, their relationship opposed by his parents. When our paths first crossed, Alice was secretly pregnant with Adam's child. The Adams family refused to accept her, leaving the couple desperate. Her tearful hallway breakdown about needing abortion funds? An act. I'd been moved by her malnourishment from overwork, showering her with nutritional supplements and cash. From the beginning, I'd been their mark. The Adams family saw me as their golden goose. Alice funneled my money into currying favor with Mr. and Mrs. Adams, buying legitimacy for her relationship with Adam. That bastard lived in my penthouse, drove my cars, and slept in my bed, yet still coveted my sister Luna's inheritance after hearing about her trust fund. Their entire scheme aimed to bleed the Miller family dry. The realization chilled me to the bone. Hospital results confirmed my suspicions. My daughter Emily was biologically mine. But baby Ethan wasn't explaining the Adams' blatant favoritism. 23 missed calls glared from my phone. Let her sweat. When I finally dialed back, Alice's honeyed voice poured through the receiver. Honey, I was just upset that day. You know I love you. Normally, her faux apologies melted me. Now, knowing she'd been scheming with Adam while sharing my bed, every saccharine word turned my stomach. I played along, agreeing to reconcile that weekend. She preened in the hotel lobby, clinging to my arm with theatrical affection. I missed you so much. She cooed, oblivious that my PI had documented Adam's nightly visits to her suite. Where are your parents? I asked casually, still upset from last time. She pouted. They're staying away to avoid conflict. And Ethan? With them. Since Emily's at your parents' too, we can finally have quality time. Her fingers trailed up my sleeve. Don't you think it's better this way? Girls just need to be happy. Let Ethan handle future responsibilities. Her casual dismissal of Emily's potential ignited fresh rage. Every touch felt like spiders crawling on my skin. The game was coming to an end soon. The Adams family would learn what happens when you try to con a Miller. Before, I couldn't quite understand why the Adams family insisted on taking Emily in. After my sister's analysis, I finally grasped their scheme. The Adams had two backup plans: first, to keep my biological daughter close as leverage should their deception be exposed. and second, to make me devote all resources to raising Adam as my sole heir while building emotional bonds as insurance against retaliation. My disgust for this viperous woman sitting beside me intensified. Watching Alice's obsequious flattery, I smiled faintly. After all, I'd prepared a special gift for her too. During the drive, I casually mentioned Annie Zhang's child being ill and needing extra help around the house. Alice hummed distractedly before launching into demands about buying property for us and to preserve the surprise of her impending downfall. I agreed to everything. When we arrived at the villa, Alice practically floated out of the car only to freeze at the sight of the new housekeeper waiting with Annie Zhang. The color drained from her face as she stumbled backward with a choked gasp. "Do you know Auntie Zhao?" I asked innocently. "And no," Alice denied too quickly, her voice cracking. "She'll be taking care of you from now on." Panicked eyes met mine. "But Evan, Auntie Zhang is enough. We don't need. You work too hard." I interrupted. "Is something wrong? Auntie Zhao can drive you to the hospital if you're unwell." The middle-aged woman nodded, her hawk-like gaze pinning Alice in place. True to form, Chloe demanded $2 million from the Adams within days, leveraging her knowledge of their affair. Forced to sell their county home and the property I'd bought Alice, they scraped together $1 million, rendering them effectively homeless. Adam remained unfazed, still convinced I knew nothing. His new scheme involved pursuing Luna to access the Miller fortune. The spectacle unfolded exactly as predicted. When Adam staged his grand confession at Luna's dorm with flowers and candles, Jason emerged holding Luna's hand, the 89-page dossier I'd provided detailing Adam's overseas misdeeds already circulating online. Live streams captured every humiliating moment. "Luna's been my girlfriend," Jason declared as the crowd erupted. "Haven't you embarrassed yourself enough? Who the hell are you?" Adam spluttered, his viral romantic billionaire persona crumbling in real time beneath the glare of smartphone cameras and Jason's cold smirk. Jason Brooks stood with his chin held high, openly declaring himself as Luna's boyfriend. Adam stubbornly tried to block Luna's path. Jason shoved him aside, sending Adam stumbling to the ground. Just as the crowd began murmuring disapproval, Jason replaced Adam's romantic projection with the infamous 89-page gossip PDF. The screen cycled through Adam's overseas misdeeds, cheating, financial scams, grooming minors. His pathetic 1.4 GPA and lack of degree certificate flashed prominently. Jason sneered, "You're nothing but a fraud covered in knockoffs. What do you actually have besides your brother-in-law's connections?" He guided Luna away as cameras swarmed around Adam, crouching shamefaced on the pavement. From my vantage point, I chuckled at Adam's humiliation. On the terrace, Alice glared venomously at the screen. Later, she snuck out shoppingly to visit Adam's hotel, returning with bruised lips and swollen cheeks. When I feigned concern, she tearfully claimed to have fallen. To comfort her, I proposed buying a second Ring Road villa, though mentioning the need for temporary divorce first. Her eyes lit up greedily. "But what if you leave me?" I pretended to hesitate. Alice eagerly promised eternal commitment. We divorced that afternoon, driving to the luxury estate. I abandoned her mid-decorating fantasy. Soon after, I leaked false rumors about gifting Alice the $12 million villa. The Adams family turned rabid, beating Alice daily for non-existent funds. When she came crawling back with fresh bruises, I had security bar the gates. Her online pity campaign backfired spectacularly when I aired footage of her affair with Adam, followed by DNA test results. Public outrage drowned the Adams clan in disgrace. Even Adam's own parents turned violent, slapping Alice while screaming, "You divorced him for nothing? We're old, not stupid." The final blow came when Adam's biological mother, Zhao, kidnapped his son. Adam's frantic car chase ended in twisted metal and sirens. Through it all, the Miller family name remained untarnished while the Adams dynasty crumbled to dust. Chloe and the child died instantly. Adam was left hideously disfigured by the fire, clinging to life by a thread. I secretly visited him in the ICU once his charred appearance truly was grotesque. I couldn't help but laugh. Adam's remaining eye bulged with rage, his blistered lips trembling uselessly as he wheezed through the ventilator. The exorbitant ICU costs bankrupted the Adams family. Their notorious reputation left few willing to donate. Adam soon expired in that sterile room. His parents not only lost everything, but incurred massive debts, condemned to spend their remaining years working minimum-wage jobs in crushing poverty. My final encounter with Alice occurred at a seedy downtown nightclub where she'd returned to sex work. The moment she saw me, she collapsed to her knees in cheap pleather heels, tearfully begging forgiveness as Emily's mother. The elegant socialite I'd cultivated now resembled a meth addict, her dollar store makeup failing to conceal liver spots and smoker's wrinkles. Before I could respond, the club manager yanked her hair back. "Mind your fucking manners with Mr. Evan," he snarled, striking her sunken cheek. Watching this broken creature grovel, I felt nothing. I'd cherished her like porcelain, yet she'd treated me as her personal doormat. Some souls are wired for self-destruction, spurning happiness to chase dirty thrills. You could have kept your designer life had you abandoned these trash-blooded atoms, I said calmly, but trash will always roll in its own filth. Turning away from her animalistic wails, I stepped into the winter night. The Arctic wind swallowed her cries whole,